Hi. So in the previous episode, we went through getting our work environment set up. So everybody by this time would have already had their environment set up, their adequate environment to help them proceed with these video tutorials. So in this video, we are just going to code the home page. So looking at our prototype, we are going to try to produce this home page. So to achieve that, we will need HTML, we will need CSS. So it is obvious, and the first thing I will need to do is to start by creating my CSS file. We are going to use an external CSS file, so which I will call styles.css. This file will be used across all other pages. It means some of the styles we will define here are going to be used on the remaining pages on this project. So once that's done, I just have to bring the file here by using the link tag and then referencing the actual file, which is styles.css. So by doing so, if I write any style here, let's assume I try to apply the style to our body tag, and I define, let's say, the background color, and I choose any color, let's say some gray, and I go to preview the project. As you see now that the background is gray, which is wonderful. So once that's done, we now know that our CSS file is linked to our HTML document, so we can now go ahead and start writing the HTML code that is needed to be able to achieve this design. So when we look at it, first of all, we look at the document which has a background color, and then in between we have the actual site content. So it means I might need a page, a tag called main, which will contain the whole project. So that's the main tag, and then we could probably use that tag as our main container. So I'm now going to add, let's say we add a section tag, and that section will contain a header tag, because we want to be able to represent the part where we have the name and then the definition of the name. So I will put that in the header tag. So the name, as it is PBN, I will put it in a heading 1 tag, so PBN, and then right under it I will have a paragraph, right? So I'll have a paragraph which will contain the definition. So PHP broadcasting network. So once I have that, the following part, which is the line, we are going to use the header border bottom. So this header, will style it and give it a border bottom, which will have this line. So we can now move on to the next part, which is the articles. So when I look at it, I have the article image, cover image, title, accepts, and then the publication date. So this whole thing is an article, so we can use the article tag to cover it. Then in the article tag, we know that we have the image, so I'm just going to, let's say, I'll put it straight, so we'll see how that goes. So we haven't created a folder for our images, so there's no image yet, so I'll find a place to get images. So after the image, we can see that we have a bunch of content that are aligned at the right side of the image. So it would be great to group them in one particular container or wrapper. So let's say I call it a wrapper here, or let me make it article wrapper. So once I have that, I can go ahead and align the rest. So since we already have the heading 1 for the title, for the name, so let me use heading 2 for the titles. So, and our title is first articles title. So first articles title. I think this small letter, right? So once we have that, The except is also going to be in a paragraph. So, and this except is just some text. Let me pick it, they will paste it. And after that we have the publication date. I guess we can use the time tag, right? So we can use the time tag to contain that, and then it will have published on then the date. So 10/12, 10/12, so no spacing. Let me keep it like this. Then 2023 by the author. So the author, let's surrender the name with a span. We might need to style it a little bit differently. So by then the author name, so we say author's name. All right, so now we are done with our mockup, our HTML mockup. When we preview our page now, we should be able to see something. So basically that's the bare HTML code we need to have this done. And you might ask me, why don't we also input this? So the point here is that I will start just one, and once one is started, I can just copy it and paste. I could do that right now, but I think it will just increase the code size and make it cumbersome. So it's better to start working with a small portion of the code, and once you are sure of how everything works together, then you can just replicate it as many times as you want. So, and we also need to add the navigation, which is the pagination option. So, and that is right after the section, so I guess we might call this navigation. Since it is a navigation, we can use a nav tag, and inside the nav tag we'll now have a UL, an ordered list, and then for each one of the ordered list we'll have a inside for each link, for a href. So we close the link. So for the first one and the last one, we would write preview and next. So this is the previous, so I'll make it prev, and then for the next one I'm going to make it next. And then we'll need these signs, which is ampersand, rad, laco, that's for the left quote, and then this one ampersand, raco. So what this does is just it will give me the less than and greater than, I mean the quotes, like the French quote. So yes, and then the ones in the middle, we just have to multiply that several times, and that will be done with our code once we make it dynamic using PHP. So for now, this is just the prototyping, so we are good, and we have all the elements needed to work on this page. So the next is to style it and get it exactly as we prototyped here. So let's check that in our next episode.